So we got another land here, so we're not going to be rare drafting. I'm hoping maybe I'll be able to pick the Scourge of Gaia Reach. I kind of like that card because Grasp of Phantasms and Memory Journey just aren't going to make it. Crossway Vampire is a solid card, but I'm not going to be picking that. That's going to be kind of your deck filler. Yeah, same thing with Stormkirk Patrol. I think that's Stormkirk. I think that's pretty much useless. One-Eyed Scarecrow I don't like picking. Oh, I might pick that. That's a really good card. Flying in First Strike. Let's see what else we got. I think the pick here is going to be one of the flyers, either the Chapelgeist or the Spirit. And I'm going to pick the one that commits me the least to white. So I'm going to pick the Voiceless Spirit. If I were more sure of myself, I'd pick the Chapelgeist. But I think people are starting to catch on that white's a good color, so people are usually going to be fighting over it. Unless I get past that. That's premium removal right there. The other options are that Curse. I'm not sure about the power level on some of these. I don't know how much damage creatures are going to be dealing to my opponent. Looter's kind of nice, but I think I'm going to start going into white, actually. The Fiend Hunter pretty much kills anything, so I'm going to want that. And it goes in any deck, too, as long as I'm playing white. Stitch Drake is a good card. Same thing with Abyssinian Priest, but they're both pretty unreliable. My last game, I picked a bunch of priests, a bunch of those non-human pacifisms, and I ended up playing a tribal human deck. It really sucked. So I don't want to pick those as highly as I thought I would. And there's no more white. So I'm going to have to pick something else now. And I'm really not sure. There's a lot of crap here. I think I'm going to want either the Tormented Pariah there. 4 mana for 3/2 is not that great, but it turns into a bigger creature. It's either that or, let's see. I don't like any of these, actually. I guess I could pick the Doom Traveler just to stick with my colors. I mean, I'm not going to be using anything else I pick. Another Fixing Land, I don't need that. Rage Thrower kind of sucks. 6 mana for 4/2 is pretty bad. And I guess the pinging is okay, but it's not going to be winning me any games. Unless I decide to pick a whole bunch of... unless I decide to pick the Doom Traveler. Bunch of Doom Travelers, and then I can use them to feed to the Rage Thrower. I'll have other cards that work with it, but that's synergy for longer down the road. Right now, I don't want to try to build something like that. I try to make my decks as open as possible. Cards like Fiend Hunter will go in pretty much any archetype. You don't have to be building anything specific. And yeah, that's all the white I'm getting. So now I'm gonna have to pick another color. And Blood Crazed Neonate would be really cool. I haven't been getting past a whole bunch of red, so that might be the pick. It's either that or the Patrician, and I haven't been seeing a whole lot of good black, so I think I'm going to go with the Neonate. Hopefully this will be the draft I'll be able to try out that Harvest Pyre. I've been meaning to do that, but not this time. No good red this time. But there's a little bit of good white, so I'm going to pick that up. The other pick here would be the Moment of Heroism, or the Spider Spawning. I'm still not sure about the spiders, whether that's worth going into green for or not. Keeping blocking away isn't really that useful, I've found. The fact that you can flash it back is kind of nice. You get enough value out of it, but yeah, just not good. I don't know. Spectral Rider is really solid. I'm picking that. 2 mana 2/2 that's pretty much unblockable is really, really good. the Woodland Sleuth would be another pick here. But I don't have any sign that I'm going to be in green. I'm going to try to stick with white as far as I can. That's usually the good strategy, is just to figure out which color you are and try to stick with it until you have to start splashing other colors in. And as long as I'm being past solid stuff like the Spectral Rider and the Rebuke, I'm sticking with white. I wouldn't be too disappointed if I had to go into red. I like the red in this set, even though it's probably not good. It's fun. I like the cards like the Neonate that get bigger. I've always liked that Slith ability. They had cards like that in the original Mirrodin. They had a cycle, one Slith for each color, and it was a 1/1 that would change. That would get +1/+1 counters. Here, the choices between the Crossway Vampire and the Night Revelers, and I think the Night Revelers are the pick. I've been noticing that you do get around to be casting stuff that's that expensive, and they're really hard to pick up. So I'm going to see if that interpretation is correct. It might not be. I don't know. Now, I passed the Curse of the Stalked Prey there. That might not have been the right pick, especially if I have flying creatures and evasive creatures and stuff like that. But I'm willing to give it a try this time. I'm just picking the colors that I like right now. Pick up the pick up the red and the white as much as I can to make that signal clear. Spare from Evil is the only card I'm even remotely interested in playing, so I'm going to pick that. These two cards just aren't any good. And same thing here. Feel bad about passing that Patrician, but I wouldn't mind being able to flash back the Rally of the Peasants. That'd be kind of fun. So that's pack 1. We've got mostly white, a little bit of red. And I'm not too heavy in red, so if the bomb, which is red, if that were another color, I wouldn't be too worried. But it is my color, so I'm gonna pick that. I didn't get a chance to play with that last time, so maybe this time I'll actually be able to see it work. It looks like I'm playing a pretty aggressive deck with the Neonate and that the Rally of the Peasants. The Spare from Evil will be useful too. If they start to stabilize, I can basically make my guys unblockable. So that's useful. And the Vampiric Fury isn't useless. I might be able to get some more vampires in this deck. I've got the Neonate and the Night Revelers so far. I might get past more later. And if not, that's fine. I mean, it might actually just be good as just for one target. Like if I have one vampire, that might be all I need. But it looks like I might get more. I've got the Rakish Air here. Got a Crossway Vampire. Another crappy Transform card, and yeah, that's all I got here. Sever the Bloodline. It's good black removal, but I'd much rather have the Rakish Air, because he's going to get big if I can pull it off right. I might want to pick up some of those flying equipments, the 1 mana that makes your creature flying, because you combo that with a vampire and it's just going to get big real fast. I'm kind of not a fan of these tribal themes. I don't like how creatures like Rakish Air, they're what's the word? Parasitic. Because it's basically memorizing which cards come up the most. I don't know how common vampires are, so I don't know how good that card is. But this card I know is good, so I'm just gonna smack that down. 3 mana to deal 3 damage has always been good. It probably always will be good. The 5 damage Morbid part is just icing on the cake. If you're only casting it without Morbid, I'm still happy. and if necessary, I can what I can do is I can swing all in, send all my creatures in, and then for an attack, and then use the Brimstone Volley for Lava Axe finishing off. I don't think that guy's good, so I'm not going to pick him. I'm seeing a whole lot of black this time. I'm seeing if I need to make a hate draft, and I do. I am not passing that to someone. That flyers win games already, but 6/6 flyer is going to end the game real fast. I just don't have any interest in letting my opponent play that, especially when I've only got, let's say, Pitchburn Devils as my top pick for this pack. The benefit of taking the Reaper away from my opponent is so much bigger than what the Pitchburn Devils would do. The Ghoul's pretty good too. I am passing a lot of good black there. And I got another Neonate here. The other option is the Watch Keep or the Haunting. And I'm going to go with the Neonate because I've already got some good vampire buffs. So having the Neonates will be pretty neat. I like the Watch Keep. That's really cool. 3 mana, potential 5/5 that swinging in, pretty damn good. But I like to go with the synergy whenever I can, and it looks like I'm getting a Vampire Tribal deck out of this. So I'm going to try to stick with that as far as I can. The white has cards like Moment of Heroism that will be helpful to the vampires. So let's see. Yeah, I'm going to pick him. Basically just snatch up as many vampires as I can. The other options here, again, not in my color, not worth going into. I'm not going to be splashing blue to play that, and I'm not going to be going into black just for the Patrician. The green cards are okay. They're just last picks. They're going to end up in someone's green deck, but they're not going to be too happy about it. And I'm getting past some white here, so I'm going to pick that. It's just a solid 2/2 body. I've said before, 1/1's not useful. He's a good blocker, but again, I'm not going into black. I'm going to try to stay out of that as far as I can. There's the wings, so I might pick that. The other option, though, is the Ashmouth Hound, and I really like that card. And the Cobble Wings will get passed later. The Ashmouth Hound is just a great aggressive card. You throw it down, you start attacking early, and it's your opponent's just not going to want to block it. It takes out anything with 1 toughness, and finishes off for 2 damage if they happen to survive that. Let's see, that's a good aggressive card. I might pick that. The other options are pretty crappy, so yeah, I'll just go with the Fur. It looks like I'm going to be pretty aggressive anyway. I'm going to be attacking a lot, so the attacks each turn if able is pretty redundant. Now, this is another meta-knowledge thing. I'm not sure how many artifacts are in the set. There's a whole lot of equipment that people are going to be running. I've been seeing a lot of that, and there's good artifacts like Cellar Door and stuff like that. But I'm not sure how common they are, so I'm going to pick what I know is good. And again, the only other option here is the Feral Ridge Wolf, and I don't trust that card. Supposedly you're supposed to use it like a fireball. You pump all your mana into it and swing it in for a whole bunch of damage. But in practice, I just see it getting shocked or tapped down, or I don't know. It's awkward. There's too many ways it can get screwed over. And we're down to the crap now, so I'm just gonna grab something randomly. So it looks like the white is going to be kind of my my second color here, unless they give me a whole bunch of good. Now this I know no one's going to be playing the Infernal Plunge, but someone is going to want that Makeshift Mauler, so I'm going to snatch that up. Make sure nobody gets that. because that is a nasty deck. Getting a whole bunch of makeshift maulers and throwing them down. Okay, so we don't really have that great of white here, or red. So I'm going to do another hate draft here. I'm going to get rid of that. Pretty much anything that has flying that has over 3 power, you just need to pick up. Whether it's a demon, an angel, a bird, whatever it is, you need to make sure your opponents don't get it. And most of the rares, if you see a dragon or something like that, you're going to want to pick that up, even if it's not in your color. Sometimes it's worth splashing for, but even if it isn't worth splashing for, it's good to know that your opponent's not going to have it. Let's see, that is not a good one. Okay. And that is a May ability, so I might pick the Slayer. I'm worried that I might have to kill one of my own vampires, but it looks like you don't have to use him if you don't want to. And it doesn't look like there's anything else I'm going to want to use in this deck, so I'm going to pick that. The Scab Goliath is going to go to someone. Someone's going to have a pretty cool blue deck. Alright, another Rebuke here. Moment of Heroism, Desperate Ravings. Yeah, Rebuke's the only thing I'm going to be even close to using. Desperate Ravings is you're going to want that in a red-blue deck, even if you don't plan on splashing it back. It's discarding the card at random that's useful, because blue likes having cards in the graveyard. It doesn't look like red or white really care. Besides the Harvest Pyre and a few Morbid cards, white doesn't really care about your graveyard, and red definitely doesn't. So Desperate Ravings is only good if you've got the synergy there, that you've got something that wants you to discard the card. And I've got enough combat tricks, so I'm not too worried about picking that up. And Feeling of Dread got used against me earlier. Someone had a white-blue deck, and they cast like 3 or 4 of those, and I just kept not being able to attack. But I don't want to use that card. Even if I could flash it back, I'd still feel pretty bad about using it. So if I'm only going to be casting it once, then definitely no. It looks like someone's taking their time here. Hello? There he goes, okay. Alright, so now I'm going to have to figure out whether... see, I'm passing some really good blue-green cards here. I found that Mulch and Armored Scab are great for filling up a graveyard. There's not many cards that do that and still give you a bonus. Cards like Curse of the Bloody Tome are the cards you're going to be wanting for your blue-green deck. But they don't do anything besides put cards to your graveyard. You kind of like the double use that you get out of Armored Scab and Mulch. But I don't think they're worth hate drafting over, and I think I'm just going to keep picking up the combat tricks. I don't feel too great about the number of tricks I'm picking up, but I don't really have anything else that I want out of that pack. But I definitely want the Spectral Riders here. Rebuke's the only thing even remotely pickable, comparable to the Inquisitor, or whatever you call that thing. What was it? The Spectral Rider. And even if my opponent is playing white or artifacts or whatever, 2 mana 2/2 is still pretty good. I'm still going to be using it. And this time I am going to pick the Chapelgeist, because I'm sure I'm going to be playing white. Earlier I didn't want to pick it just because I wasn't sure if I was going to be going into white or not. So I'm pretty glad that I got past the Moor. Unruly Mob, I think, is pickable. I'm not sure. Because usually creatures are only going to die once or twice. So but he has the potential for getting pretty big. So I'm keeping an eye on that card. It looks like a card that I hope would get big, but will probably disappoint. I got past another Chapelgeist here. Nothing really else. Vampiric Fury could be nice, but I'm only half vampires. Wow, lots of flying. Sure, I'll pick that up. Maybe I should have grabbed that +1/+1 counter enchantment, that curse. How disappointing. Ooh. Well, I am getting the creatures that I wanted, so that's good. I was kind of worried there, getting past so many tricks and instants and enchantments and stuff like that. I have a bad habit of not picking enough creatures and then picking up like all the equipments and buffs and stuff like that, and then not having anything to stick it on. And that's pretty embarrassing to be sitting there with a couple swords, shields, and armor and stuff like that on the battlefield and nobody to put it on. Your opponent just kind of looks at you and laughs. Here I didn't pick the wooden stake because I know basically how it works, and I want to see how the curse functions. I want to see if it's worth it. And here I'll just make a hate draft. I don't have a plan on using the feeling, and playing against the Somber Walled Spider or Naturalize is possible. Same thing with the Sleuth here. The Ridge Wolf I don't think is playable, so I'm not going to pick it. But I definitely know that the Sleuth is good, so I don't want anyone getting that. And no one's going to be using counters, so I don't have to worry about that. Alright. So I didn't get any bombs that are going to be splashable. I got the Reaper, but there's just no way I'm going to be playing that unless I was heavy black, which I'm not. So I'm just going to throw in a bunch of red cards. Red. I'm going to plan on attacking a lot. Like a whole lot. I wish you were a vampire. That'd be nice. And I'm putting in the curse just to see if it works. And I might take out the furs here. Those are another experiment. I want to see if they work. They don't, no biggie. The Rebuke might actually not be in this deck because I'm going to be doing most of the attacking. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so cards I have to consider. I want to put another Rally the Peasants in. I want to put some Vampiric Furies in. Oh, I forgot to put the Brimstone Volley in. I definitely want that. Let's see. Let's take out Elder Cathar doesn't really have that many targets, so I'm going to take that out. If I were more heavy white, I'd have a lot more creatures that were humans, but it doesn't look like I have any. I've got the Bell Ringer. That's just about it. I want to make this Rally the Peasants work. Okay, I've got one in. I'll see how it plays, I guess. Yeah, I guess I'd much rather have the Führer. I don't know how to pronounce that. The fur. Actually, I'm pretty light on the mana. I guess I could just throw it in and then go 16. I mean, most of my stuff's 2/3 mana, so after the first couple lands, I don't really care. And actually, I am playing a whole lot of white, so I'll just put 7 of each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 8. Sorry, it's 16 lands, not 14. 1, 2, 3. All right, I'll see you in the game.